It's to you, CS. There's been a lot of talk about activity versus input, output and outcomes. As the custodian of public service measurement in this government, what is your take on Kenya's model of performance contracting and performance management? Are we measuring the right things?
Thank you, Angui. I look at it from two fronts. One, performance management is much more encompassing than performance contracting. Performance contracting is just one of the measures that is supposed to contribute to performance management, and it's much broader than that. So the conversation that we are having within government is how can we be able to broaden the performance management framework so that it focuses more on productivity, that it measures outcomes and results as opposed to events and processes, which is the current. So that is currently undergoing some review and transformation, and we look forward to the beginning of the new fiscal year to be able to have a new regime that is, one, much broader, and two, that is really focused on outcomes. And performance contracting and performance management tools are supposed to answer to the needs of a particular administration. So what we're also doing is asking ourselves, how can our current performance management framework be a tool for this administration to achieve the commitments that we made to our people? Ultimately, we have to do that because the issue of productivity is key. And also, as the chair has said, on the issue of generational equity, that do we want to, as a current generation, to leave all the obligations and all these problems to future generations? Let me tell you that these fiscal issues, because this ultimately fiscal issue, is actually, it is hiding some real good progress that we are making on other fronts. For example, when we make progress on our exchange rates, when we control our inflation, when we have our GDP growing this year expected at 5.6%, and then that is wiped out by all these fiscal issues that come with recurrent expenditure. And finally, we want to broaden this discussion and ask ourselves, is this just an economic issue? No, for me, it's a moral issue, it's an ethical issue. How can we have 1 million people who are the public servants consuming 41% of our revenues and leaving the other 53 million people to consume 59%? In fact, I would question the other 53 million people. Why are they so patient with us? Because there's a moral issue and there's an ethical issue of how can we have just 1 million people living on the back of another 53 million people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, CS. Wow.